Have you ever felt hurt by someone, and your first instinct was to just pull away? You stop answering texts as quickly, you get quiet, you build a little wall around yourself. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? One moment you're close, and the next, there's a huge emotional distance. If you've ever done this or had it done to you, you know how confusing it can be. So why do we do this? Why do we distance ourselves when we're in pain? Let's talk about it. This response is a deeply human instinct, and it's rooted in our primal need for self-preservation. Think of it like touching a hot stove. When you get burned, your hand recoils instantly without you even having to think about it. Emotional pain works in a very similar way. When someone's words or actions hurt us, our brain registers it as a threat. The immediate instinctual reaction is to create distance, to pull away from the source of the pain to prevent further harm. It's not about being cold or manipulative, it's a protective mechanism kicking in. We're essentially putting ourselves in an emotional safe mode to stop the bleeding. This retreat gives us something incredibly valuable: time. Time to process what just happened. Emotional injuries aren't like a cut on your finger where you can see the damage. They're invisible, and often they're confusing. Did they mean to hurt me? Am I overreacting? What does this mean for our relationship? These questions need space to be answered. By stepping back, we create a quiet bubble for ourselves to sift through the tangled mess of feelings, the anger, the sadness, the confusion, without the added pressure of interacting with the person who caused them. It's our way of trying to make sense of the chaos inside. Another major reason for creating distance is a profound fear of vulnerability. When we're hurt, we feel exposed, raw, and fragile. To open up about that pain means showing someone the part of you that's wounded. And what if they don't understand? What if they dismiss your feelings, tell you you're being too sensitive, or worse, use that vulnerability against you later? That's a terrifying prospect. The risk of being hurt again while already in a state of pain can feel unbearable. So, we shut down. We build a fortress and pull up the drawbridge because it feels safer to be alone with our pain than to risk having it invalidated or deepened by someone else. It's a defensive strategy to protect our already bruised hearts. Sometimes we distance ourselves not just to protect ourselves, but to protect the relationship itself. This might sound counterintuitive, but think about it. When you're seething with anger or overwhelmed with sadness, you might say or do things you don't mean. The phrase, "if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all," comes to mind. By taking a step back, you're preventing yourself from lashing out in a way that could cause irreparable damage. It's a temporary timeout to let the emotional storm pass, so that when you do re-engage, you can do so from a calmer, more rational place, instead of a place of pure, unfiltered hurt. It's an act of emotional regulation, a mature attempt to handle a difficult situation without making it worse. Let's also consider the element of reassessment. When a person we trust hurts us, it can shake the very foundation of that relationship. It forces us to reevaluate things. Is this person truly safe for me? Is this a pattern of behavior? Do the good times outweigh these moments of pain? These are heavy questions that you can't answer in the heat of the moment. Creating distance gives you the perspective needed to look at the bigger picture. It allows you to zoom out from the immediate pain and assess the health and viability of the connection. It is like taking a step back from a painting to see the whole canvas instead of just one messy brushstroke. Moreover, our past experiences play a huge role in this behavior. If you grew up in an environment where showing emotion was seen as a weakness, or if your feelings were consistently ignored or punished, you learn very early on to internalize your pain. You learn that seeking comfort from others is futile or even dangerous. So as an adult, when you get hurt, your conditioned response is to retreat into your shell just like you did as a child. You go back to what you know, handling it on your own, because your history has taught you that it is the only reliable way to get through it. It's a learned survival skill from your past that carries over into your present. And what about when we feel like we are the problem? Sometimes we pull away because we're ashamed. We might feel like our reaction is too big, that we're too needy, or that our hurt is an inconvenient burden to the other person. We don't want to be seen as too much, so we hide our feelings, pretending everything is okay, creating distance to conceal the turmoil we're experiencing inside. It's a misguided attempt to preserve our image and the relationship, driven by insecurity and a fear of being judged or rejected for our authentic emotional experience. So if this is you, if you're someone who builds walls when you're hurt, please know that it's a normal human response. It's your system trying to protect you. But it's also important to recognize that while distance can be a helpful short-term tool, it can't be a long-term solution. Healthy relationships require communication and repair. The goal is to use that time out, not to build a permanent fortress, but to gather your strength so you can eventually lower the drawbridge and express your feelings constructively. It's about learning to say, hey, what you did hurt me and I needed some space. Can we talk about it now? And if you're on the receiving end of this silence, try to approach it with compassion instead of frustration. Understand that their withdrawal is likely not about punishing you, but about protecting themselves. Give them the space they need, but also gently let them know that you were there for them when they're ready to talk. A simple, I sense that you're pulling away and I want you to know I'm here for you when you feel ready to connect again, can make a world of difference. It validates their need for space while keeping the door open for reconnection. Ultimately, navigating hurt is one of the most challenging parts of being human and being in relationships. It's a delicate dance between self-protection and connection. By understanding why we pull away, we can approach these painful moments with more grace, empathy, and wisdom for both ourselves and for the people we care about. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel for more conversations like this. Take care of yourselves and each other.